Oh, good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Tuesday, September 12th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. Check out the intro, and we will be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yankees universe, good morning. Welcome back to another episode. It's your guy, Hector. I'm just chilling here on this Tuesday, September 12th. All you Yankee fans out there, wake up and get your coffee. TC, how you feeling, big fella?
Well, I was looking forward to that weekend until my Steelers crapped the bed. Hosted a party and everybody was a 49er fan, and that didn't work out too well. But hey, the Yankees had a nice comeback 13-inning game on Sunday. That was pretty good. I was excited.
The only thing exciting about this weekend was that game. We'll get more into it. Keep going, TC.
Yeah. Well, I know. There's I didn't want to bring up your team. That was kind of a disgrace.
40 to nothing. 40 to nothing.
It's
it is
right.
what it is.
It's Tuesday. We're here. We got the chat. We got everybody. It's okay. It's all good.
Yeah.
And we're also that much closer to September 23rd, which I can't wait.
Yeah, right around the corner, literally 11 days away. Make sure you guys get your tickets. Not that many tickets left available. Make sure you guys go to nyyu.com or go to Twitter, NYYU. Click on the link and get your ticket before the day comes and the day goes. But we got 20 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. Let's do a little bit of the roll call real quick.
Here?
My guy Sean Brown is in the building. Sean Brown, how you doing? Of course, my guy Gio, Mr. Unpopular Opinion. Pop, how you doing? We got Uncle Grandpa Tats in the building. Had a great conversation with Uncle Tats this morning. Shout out to you, Uncle Tats. You know I love Grandpa. You. My friend Shane McNeil is up here. Shane, how you doing? Got to shout out Steve Schumann. Shuey Poo is in the building. Steve, how you doing? Anthony Medina, mi hermano de la Isla, is in the building. How are you doing? Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Who else we got up here? We got Dev Finch in the building. Big time Jerry, how you doing? My guy Damian Serrano with the Cuban links around his neck. How you doing? Anna Marie is in the building. Anna Marie, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. And shout out my Blood of the Panther, like he said, the top moderator of all the moderators. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and also ring the notification so you always get tuned in to what we're doing over here on the Morning Brew Sports. But DC, we got to talk about it. Jasson Dominguez. It was a horrible news we got over the weekend. Yankee fans, we'll be right back. Watch this transition and let's get ready to talk about it. Jasson Dominguez, the Martian, with a torn UCL. You can't make it up. You literally you can't make it up, TC. When I saw he got scratched from the lineup with elbow inflammation, right? I chuckled on the inside. I was like, oh, let's see. This is just the Yankees' luck. It is what it is. But then the news came out that it is a torn UCL. He will need to have Tommy John surgery, and normal recovery time for a pitcher is about like 18 to 19 months, right? With a position play, it's a little bit different. You got some estimation 6 to 10 months. We just got to wait to see when the surgery is going to happen because it's inflamed at the moment. You have to wait for the inflammation to go down before you even do the surgery. So if I'm calling it right now, I would say the last week of September, the first week of October is where the surgery can happen. That's just my guess because, like I said, you gotta wait for the inflammation to go down before you're able to even do any type of surgery. it was this Sunday game against Houston. He said he felt something during the series against Detroit. I'm not sure if you saw it was a single up the middle that he threw into the infield, and it kind of looked a little bit off. Wasn't like his highlights that we're used to seeing. And he comes out that he had a torn UCL. And even with a torn UCL, he was able to still hit 3 home runs. Right. So if there's any like bright spot to look at, he was still able to hit 3 home runs minus the first one he hit on first day up. But if the injury happened on Sunday he had a home run. He had a couple of more home runs against Detroit. I mean, a home run against Detroit and then a home run against Milwaukee on Friday. What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, it was a real disappointing because this was the lone, well, not the lone bright spot, but having the kids come up at the end of the season was what we all look forward to, and we enjoyed watching the games now. And then to have this happen at the end of the season when we had hope going into next year, yeah, it was definitely I mean, it's a typical Yankee thing to me. It seems like it's typical. This bad news just follows his team, injuries upon injuries and bad performances. It's just a shame because he's 20 years old. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Hopefully, he does beat this 9 to 10 month estimate coming back, and he comes back maybe by May, late May, maybe. And hey, they reconstruct his arm, and he's like a bionic Martian. Because he is a Martian, so maybe they do some experiments with him, and he comes back and he hits 100 home runs. So hey, you never know.
Sipping the tea a little bit early, but Brian Hoach on Twitter, he put out there, he asked Aaron Boone about Jasson Dominguez timeline, pointing out that Bryce Harper and Shohei Ohtani returned faster than the 9 to 10 month estimated given time. And this is what Boone said: with any injury, there's always wiggle room, but that's just the standard timeline when it comes to position players. So like you said, TC, if we're looking at the standard timeline, 9 to 10 months, we'll bring you around July, end of July, middle of July, maybe even August, depending on when he has the surgery. But like they pointed out, Bryce Harper and Shohei Ohtani came back a little bit faster. So that may be around the 8-month to 7-month period. But when it comes
to him, he's only 20, so usually the younger guys, they can heal a little bit quicker. So,
but when it comes to Jasson Dominguez, for me, take your time. Make sure you come back the proper way. Don't try to rush your way back, because if you rush your way back, there's a high possibility you can hurt yourself in the future, right? So when it comes to Jasson Dominguez, take the time that you need. Make sure your recovery is on point. Don't rush anything back, and just make sure you're ready to go by whatever time you come up. Now, this just means that this forces the Yankees' hand, because we all had it in our minds that Jasson Dominguez was going to be the starting center fielder, right, when it comes to next season for 2024. Now, when it comes to the 2024 Yankees, you guys got to go out there. The front office has to go out there and find the center fielder, or maybe they was going to, we'll have Jasson Dominguez in center. There's no need for us to get Cody Bellinger. Now you got to get Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, you have to.
Now it's a must for you to get Cody Bellinger. Let me shout out a few people before I throw it over to TC. Shout out my guy, Richie Martinez, who's in the building. Right, Richie Martinez, salute. Richie says, good morning, everyone. The Martian will be back just in time to either make the team stronger or save us. Big facts right there, Richie Martinez. Who else we got there? Uncle Tat says, facts, Hector. He's 20. He's not 30. No rush at all. Absolutely. Right. And the tough part about this is that this offseason, he's going to miss time when it comes to development, right? He already missed an entire season because of the pandemic. Now this is his first off season that instead of improving his game, he's rehabbing an injury, trying to get ready for the season. So even if he comes back faster than what's expected, I would still want the Yankees to put him in the minors, let him build back up before just throwing him into the fire at the major league level. What's your thoughts on that, TC?
Right. No, I totally agree. He's not going to make or break our 2024 season. Just one player. I mean, we still have Judge. We still have other young kids coming up that are exciting and can take us to championship caliber team again. But I'm not rushing him. and ruin him. He's 20 years old. I want to see him on the Yankees for at least his first 5-6 years, and I'm sure he's going to ask for some huge contract. I hopefully he does stay with the Yankees for his career. But yeah, I'm not rushing him, and it does force the Yankees to make some serious moves. Bellinger is a must now, and there's other guys that they have to look at as well. You can't go into next season hoping all these kids are going to work out. There's major league guys out there, free agents, that Cashman's going to have to sit down and seriously look at, because we got a lot of holes on this team. We're not like extremely far away, but 2-3 guys definitely help us out.
Yeah,
and some of our veterans bounce back and have better years, but Cashman better do his homework this offseason.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that, because your man Cashman, he was overseas watching a specific picture out there in Japan. Yeah. We'll touch on that in a little bit. But my guy Joe Randazzo, the Yankee librarian on Twitter, he also put this out. The Yankees have had a lot of lows in 2023, but Jasson Dominguez tearing his UCL has to be the worst thing to happen this entire season. And I gotta agree with him, right? First of all, playoff hopes are washed. I know this is something that we've been talking about last week. A lot of Yankee fans, we got excited because of that 5-game winning streak. We were brought back down to reality this weekend. Playoff hopes are just washed. There's no way, especially with Jasson Dominguez going on the IL, that they can muster any way back. I know Estevan Florial is back up here, so now it's the Estevan Florial train. Let's see what Flo can do. But when it comes to Jasson Dominguez, like I said earlier, just get healthy. Don't rush things back. You heard him being interviewed, and he has a great attitude. The way he carries himself, very professional. He said, "Listen, this is not something that you want to happen, but it's a part of the process. It's happened. Now we just got to try to come back." Right. So Jasson Dominguez, he has the right head on his shoulder. I think he'll be totally fine. It just depends on when he gets that surgery. Like I said, I'm thinking it's the last week of September, maybe the first week of October, depending on how fast the swelling and the bruising comes down from that elbow.
Hopefully it's not that long. Yeah, I know that's a long time. That's almost the whole season. So but I don't know. With this quote on Jasson Dominguez, I know this was bad, but did we all forget that Aaron Judge broke his toe? And that was a pretty bad blow this season. So that kind of knocked us out, early in the season. Our playoff hopes were almost knocked out in early June. So this is definitely a big blow. But I don't know. Our Captain Judge going down was probably I would think that was the worst of the year.
I see what you're saying, but for me, the reason why I agree for Joey, and guys in the chat, let me know. Shout out my guy, Mr. Worldwide Mayberry in the building. L, how you doing? The reason why I agree with Joe is more because we knew that the season was over in September, right? Jasson Dominguez came up and he gave us a little bit of hope. He gave us that spark. And that spark wasn't only for the rest of this season, but it was also a spark for the future, right? So now going into 2024, like I said, after last week, we all had it penciled in that Jasson Dominguez was going to be our starting center fielder going into the 2024 season, right? Now, the Yankees, they got to get creative, right? They can't just punt on the 2024 season. They have to get creative. And a lot of our depending on what happens with Estevan Florial, he may be gone next year. There's a high possibility. I'm not going to say he may be. It's a huge possibility he may be gone, right? Because the only way he can stay on the roster if the Yankees put him on the 40-man. And I'm not sure if the Yankees are going to put him on the 40-man, right? So they may have to lean into, you may see the Billy McKinney types come back. You may see the IKF come back, right? Because the Yankees, they don't have that much depth in the minor league level.
Yeah.
Right. Especially with Estevan Florial most likely going to be gone. So that's why I said the Yankees, they have to sign Cody Bellinger. And let me just put this out there, because Steve Schumann put it out there. He said the Yankees, not only do they need to sign Cody Bellinger for the outfield, but as well as a solution for Rizzo in 2025.
That's right.
Right. And I said this on Friday's show, and we got 35 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. And I said this on Friday's show. You get Cody Bellinger not only because he's an outfielder and can play center field, but if there's any setback on Anthony Rizzo, you could just slide Bellinger to first base, right? Say like you get Cody Bellinger to start the season as your center fielder. By the time Jasson Dominguez comes back, you can either move Cody to left field, depending on how good Everson Pereira has been performing, or you can move Cody to first base, depending on how well Anthony Rizzo came back from that injury. What's your thoughts, TC?
I totally agree. I mean, that makes him that much more valuable, and it's going to drive the price up because, I mean, everybody knows the Yankees need somebody now. They you know, Bellinger's a sought after guy, and they're going to have to throw some money at him. And the Yankees have money. I don't want to hear them say, "Oh, we don't want to get, you know, close to the luxury tax or the Cohen tax or whatever." Yeah, I'm just tired of that. They got to go all in. We've been screaming and yelling about that we're going to waste these Cole and Judge years. You got to go for it. You can't be waiting around and rebuild. And this is not a rebuild type team. You got to go for it. There's guys out there they can get. There's, you know, there's some smart trades they can, you know, maneuver, you know, there's things they can do. It's that they can't just because of bad news with Dominguez and, you know, oh, everyone's struggling and slumping to just punt the 2024 season. You can't do it. There's ways around it. There's ways to immediately make this team better. But, you know, it's out there that everybody knows the Yankees need Cody Bellinger. And they're going to go hard for Yamamoto, and there's plenty of teams out there. I know we're going to talk about him in a little bit. So, yeah, it's going to drive everything up.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Let's highlight a few of these chats before we switch things to the next topic. Shout out my guy, Mr. AK47, who says, "Good morning, Hector. How about my Cowboys?" First of all, just know I still love you. Right. Even though you're a Cowboy fan, right? And even though the Cowboys put a spanking on my Giants, just know AK47, we're still friends, no matter what. All right, no matter what.
We're all friends.
But my guy Sean Browning in the building has said we should go aggressive with both Lee and Bellinger and Yamamoto. Though we are already making an aggressive offer, and that's the rumors. We'll get to that real quick. Let me keep shouting out the rest of the chat. Richie Martinez says Yamamoto and Bellinger easy. Just try to get Stanton to LA or San Diego.
Good idea.
Samantha T is in the building. Samantha T, salute, 3 capital S's. And enough of IKF in the outfield. I think we all agree with you on that.
Experiment should be over.
That experiment is over. Jerry Cadell says, please don't sweat. You said Ellsbury. No, I'm not comparing Dominguez to Ellsbury. That's blasphemous. Blasphemous. My guy L said, unfortunately, fellas, I'm not in a Yankees mood today. I still haven't processed losing Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I wasn't going to say anything because I know Celso is backstage. That's my guy. If you're a Jet fan out there, just know that I'm mourning with you at the moment. And shout out my guy Dev Fence, who says we trust in Cashman. Anna Marie says Donaldson and Hicks going to be in the playoffs. Nightmares are real. Well, that's how it's looking. But let's switch up the topic real quick. We got to talk about Yamamoto, right? The young guy.
Take me out to the ball game. I like it.
You like that? You like that? Take me out to the ball.
I like the transition.
Let me know if you guys dig the new transition. Let me know if you guys like the new graphic layout. So what's your thoughts on it, right? And thank you to all the super chats. We got a $2 super chat from my guy Yankee Frankie. The Cubs and Bellingers both have a mutual option. I know that, but I think Bellinger's going to want to opt out just so he could get more money next year. Yankee Frankie. Hold on one second. Also, guys, just want to let you guys know, all the super chats that you guys do, right, that you guys donate to the channel, it's how we're able to upgrade a lot of our graphics and a lot of our videos. So we appreciate the super chats that you guys donate to the channel. Just know those super chats, they go to improve the quality of not only this show, but all the other shows on the channel as well. So you'll see if you tune into the Jets show, you saw a little bit yesterday, tune into the other shows later on today. Shout out to my guy, Nitin Ramachandra in the NNR Hour. He put it up there, but we be talking to Jay Feely, former Jets and Giants kicker, from an NFL kicker. So make sure you guys tune into that. That's later on today at 6 p.m. Shout out to my guy Nathan. We're doing a lot of cross promotion with Nathan. They're gonna get us a lot of great guests. That's how we got Brian Hoach last Saturday. That's how we got Mike Warren from the Trenton Thunder this Saturday that passed. We're working on another guest for this Saturday. So make sure you guys tune in. Yes, this is a Yankee show that I got, but we have other stuff on the channel as well that you guys can check out. Anna Marie said the transition. Anna Marie said the transition is fire. I appreciate you. Casey Funtime said the Yankees should not count on any young talent and build a team without them in mind. The youngsters need to be a bonus because most of them need time to develop. I ain't gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna argue with that. But when it comes to Yamamoto, right? Talking Yankees put out there yesterday that the Yankees plan to offer 25-year-old Yoshinobu Yamamoto an offer that significantly exceeds the 7-year $155 they gave to Masahiro Tanaka. TC, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, he's going to be one of the most sought after pitchers this offseason, and the Yankees should be all in on him. I'd give him whatever he wants. We've seen this year that Rodon is not the guy that we thought he was, and we definitely need to upgrade our pitching. I know we have some guys coming up, some Will Warren, Clayton Beater, but we can't count on these guys coming up to replace the Severinos and Hermans, and we need major league ready guys. I know Clark Schmidt was a big surprise this year, and then we don't know about Nestor. So to have Cole, Rodon, and Yamamoto top three, that's a killer pitching staff. So yeah, if I'm Cashman, and he was over there. He watched him throw that no-hitter in Japan. Yeah. So that shows that there's a big interest. You don't just send your GM out there for nothing. So they're going to push hard, and they, like I said earlier, they need to push hard this offseason. Don't hold back. Don't penny pinch. Give these guys the money, because the Yankee fans are fed up with this, this cheapness.
You said it perfectly, right? While talking about the Yankees, and like I said, Talking Yanks put out there, the Yankees are going to offer the 25-year-old an offer that exceeds the 7 years $155 they gave to Tanaka. You can tell that's true because who went over there? Normally, you send your scouts, like your top scout. Brian Cashman chartered the plane and went all the way to Japan, which is not that, it's not 5 hours or 4 hours, anything like that. He's a 17, 18, 20-hour flights from New York City over there to the east, over there to Japan. So to see Brian Cashman go out there and to see that he's talking to the media and how excited he is about this young kid, I don't remember this from Tanaka. I remember the Yankees sending their scouts out there. I don't remember Brian Cashman going out there to watch Tanaka. So I definitely believe that the Yankees are going to go hard after Yamamoto this offseason. And like people said, you're gonna have to block the Mets. You're gonna have to block the Red Sox, right? You're gonna have to block the Dodgers also, who were trying to go after Shohei and Yamamoto. There's a lot of competition out there for this man's talent. He's a 25-year-old. He's a flamethrower. And what I like about Yamamoto, and I said this on the last show, is the fact that when he first came up, he came out of the bullpen. There's not that much tax on his arm like there was for Naka, like there was for Yu Darvish, like there was for whatever Japanese pitcher you want to enter into the conversation, right? Shout out to my guys from Fireside Yankees. They report that Yamamoto won the last two Samurai Awards, the MVP equivalent of the Cy Young Award, and the last two Pacific League MVPs. He had a 1.26 ERA, 145 strikeouts, and he averages over seven innings a start. He's one of the best pitchers in the world. He had a no-hitter the other day when Brian Cashman was there. Now, if you're trying to show first impression, literally pitched a no-hitter while the Yankees GM was there. And I got another graphic that I want to bring up, right? Because there was some talks about, right? Now, this was translated, right? Because Brian Cashman spoke to the Japanese media. He didn't speak to any American media about Yamamoto. He spoke to the Japanese media. Now, this came out through their publication, but shout out to my guy Joe Randanzo, who translated the entire article. The Yankees' savior is Yamamoto, who is expected to transfer to the MLB through the posting system this offseason. An MLB official said it's clear that the Yankees are moving to acquire Yamamoto. The best proof is that GM Brian Cashman personally went to Japan on Yamamoto's scheduled pitching date. The team also fears the risk of luxury tax. We are planning to spend big time money on acquiring Yamamoto and no limit. The offer is expected to exceed the offer that they offered Tanaka, $155 million for 7 seasons. Tanaka, who joined the Yankees during the 2013 offseason. The Yankees would spend a huge amount of money this offseason to make him a free agent. He's also started acquiring Shohei Ohtani. Wait, hold on. He also started acquiring Shohei Ohtani from the Angels. However, there is more information circulating around MLB scouts that Ohtani likes the West Coast and is not considering the East Coast as teams transfer target in the first place. So it seems that the Yankees are quickly in a mode of giving up when it comes to Shohei. But when it comes to Yamamoto, Brian Cashman and the Yankees, they're going to go all in. TC, what's your thoughts? People in the chat, what's your thoughts as well?
Yeah, I mean, I said it. They have to go all in. And the good thing about this is the Yankees have, former Japanese players with Tanaka and Hideki Matsui. So they can Yamamoto can see how they were treated. I mean, Hideki Matsui was like, a god over there with the Japanese media and, Godzilla. It was an exciting time for him. So if he just has a little chat with them and say, hey, I'm thinking about, joining the Yankees, I'm sure Matsui will tell him that's the number one choice. You got to, that's the place to be. And there's no other team other than the Yankees, right? If you're a free agent, I mean, why not, right? The spotlight's on you. You get all the, the attention, and you get on the West Coast, you get nothing. And unless you're maybe Dodgers, there's nothing going on over there. You got to, especially from Japan. I mean, the stadium will be electric with this kid. I mean, we got to go all in. Roll out the red carpet. I mean, you got to bring in Ichiro, bring in Matsu, just court him around the town and do what you can, because you got to get this guy. This is a must now. I mean, we like we were saying, we got to go all in, and this is a must get. And we got him and Bellinger are pretty much a must for this offseason. If they don't get either one, it's going to be a bust. So.
Even if you look at it, like if the Yankees decide to, when they signed Tanaka, 155 over 7 years, right? Let's do the math on that. What was it per season? 155 divided by 7.
24.
That's 22. That's 22 million a season, right? If the Yankees offer him 25 a season, 26, that's literally the same amount of money they're paying Carlos Rodon.
Yeah.
Right. So if they offer him, say 28, let's say 28 million per season times 7, 28 times 7, that's 196 mil. So they could offer a 7-year contract, 200 mil. Right.
Yeah.
You look at his stats, this kid is worth it. And at the same time, he's still 25 years old. Right. He'll be entering his prime. This is not a pitcher that we're paying that's 29 or 30. A pitcher that's in the middle or coming towards the end of their prime. He's entering his prime, and he is highly recognized as one of the best, if not top 3 pitchers in the world. We already have Garrett Cole giving us a Cy Young season this year. If we add Yamamoto and have Cole, Yamamoto, then Rodon, we're cooking with some fish grease.
That's right. Yeah. No, I mean, I'd love to see that. You gotta throw out all the money. Don't even think about how much money it's going to cost. We're in the mode of win now. We got to win, and they got to forget about the money. Come on.
We got 85 million coming off of the books.
Exactly.
If the Yankees want to go after both Yamamoto and Cody Bellinger, right? If you want to give Yamamoto 30 million a season, cool, give him 30 million. If you want to give Cody Bellinger 30 million, cool, give him 30 million. That's 60 million right there. That's literally not even touching the rest. We have 15 more million left off of the money that's coming off of the books. We're not adding to the payroll. We're taking money that's coming off and we're just putting it somewhere else.
And we're getting his prime years. That's the thing. We're not getting like a Kevin Brown or a Randy Johnson when their careers are almost over. We're getting the guy in the midst of his prime. This is the kind of contract you got to get. You got to get this guy.
Oh, I want to shout out my guy, Yankee Frankie, in the chat. I appreciate you for the $5 super chat. Yankee Frankie said the Yankees need to not be cheap this offseason and go after Yamamoto, Bellinger, Matt Chapman, and trade for one bad contract, Stanton, DJ, or Rizzo. When it comes down to it, I think it would be hard for the Yankees to trade Stanton. You would have to give up a top prospect and offer to pay some of his contract. And I'm not sure if the Yankees are willing to cut bait with a top prospect and pay Stanton to go play on another team. I see where you're talking, Yankee Frankie, and I like the creativity. Shout out to my guy Celso backstage. We are 68 subs away from 1,500. Spread the word and help us grow. Absolutely. If you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. We got 50 people in the building. Come join the conversation. Smack that like button. My guy Steve Suman says, I would prefer Roki. Okay, but he won't be available to MLB for a few more years. Yamamoto's 95 mile per hour velocity concerns me just a bit, with Bat Boys throwing 98. Okay, I see what you're saying. For me, it's more command. He sits 95, 96 on his stuff, but I see what you're saying. Roki is a beast. Roki Sasaki, he throws 101 like it's nothing.
He won't be posted for a couple years, right?
Yeah, he won't be posted for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a guarantee that Yamamoto will be posted either. It's not a guarantee yet.
It's pretty much like everyone in Japan knows that he's going to be posted by his team. So it's basically a given. But I see what you're saying. Like my guy Blood of the Panther, hit that like button and subscribe button as well. Ring the notification to always be updated on the channel. But let's switch it up just a little bit because we got to talk about Jasson Dominguez replacement. And that's Esteban Florial. Esteban Florial is finally up
Everybody's
here. He has 19 games left. And according to Aaron Boone said he's going to be playing every day on regular playing time. So shout out to Esteban Florial. Let's see what he does with the playing time that he has.
Give him a chance.
Finally, the Florial train will begin in Fenway. We got a doubleheader today. Yesterday was rained out. We got 2 games today. So we get to watch 2 Yankee games. Let's see if they could win at least one of them. What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Florial. It's about time. I mean, the kid needs a shot, and he didn't get anything all season with all the injuries we have. And now Dominguez goes down, and all hope is lost. And here he goes. He gets his chance. Make the best of it. I'm rooting for I'll watch just for Florial because I am rooting for him over anybody, whether he sticks with the Yankees or not. He's gonna land somewhere, and he's gonna sock it to us if they don't end up keeping him. And it's too bad because he's a 5-tool kid too, like Dominguez. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see him right in the middle of the lineup. He might even be leadoff. So I don't know where Boone ends up putting him, but I guess it doesn't matter, right? At this point.
Yeah, they had him penciled in yesterday in the 9th hole.
Oh my God.
And like Steve says, I'm praying that Flo does well. And
yes,
I'm right there with you when it comes to Esteban Florial, right? What was a top prospect, what was a great talent in Esteban Florial, it sucks because the reason why we didn't see him is because of Aaron Hicks. Right? Like Aaron Hicks is the reason Esteban Florial was never given the chance to blossom as that top prospect. Yes, injuries on top of it. He broke his wrist one spring training at the wall. I think he was dealing with concussions as well. But when you look at Esteban Florial, his last 2 seasons at AAA was his best seasons. Was the first 2 times he was able to be healthy consistently. He worked on what the Yankees asked him to do when it comes to his strikeout, when it comes to his on-base percentage, when it comes to putting the bat to the barrel. He worked on all of that, and he was still never given a chance until now. And the only reason he has a chance now is because Jasson Dominguez got injured, right? You never want to wish for injuries. Never want to risk for injuries, but injuries happen. Esteban Florio, this your time to shine.
Yeah, and things happen for a reason. So maybe this was meant to be. He's going to shine 19 games. He's going to, hit 10 home runs and drive in 30 runs, and he's going to be our starting center fielder next year. That's what happens.
I love the optimism, TC. I love the optimism. And like Uncle Tat says, if Stanton ever agrees to a trade, Hector would shave his beard. It ain't happening. I'll tell you this right now. If Stanton gets traded, if the Yankees trade Giancarlo Stanton this offseason, I would shave my beard and I would keep it shaved for about a week. It's not happening. That's how confident I am.
I'll grow a beard. How about that?
Mark T. Maker, shout out to Mark T. Maker. He said, we could use Hicks now. Guys hitting over 500 in the last 11 games or so.
Right, yeah.
Shout out my guy Mark T. Maker in the chat.
Tats, did you grow your mustache back? Did Tats grow it all? I know I shaved it for the charity thing, and then I don't know if you grow it back.
You should grow it back. Make sure it's here by the time the 23rd is around the corner.
Yeah, I want to see a handlebar mustache.
Medina says, so unfortunately, it had to take Dominguez getting injured in order for Flo to be called up, when Florio should have been brought up months ago. Yankees are such a backwards organization. Yeah, they gave chances to Willie Calhoun, Franchi Cordero, Jake Bowers, Billy McKinney. So the rotating door of just Yankees outfielders, IKF.
Doesn't make any sense at all. I don't get it.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You can't make it up, right?
Way. Isn't that's been the Cashman way for a while? He wants to take these guys, off of the waiver wire and turn them into something that they're not. And all the while you got this talented kid down in the minors giving it all, and he doesn't get a shot. I don't know. And we had to get more athletic, and this guy was probably our most athletic kid in the minors. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it doesn't. Shout out to my guy, NYY News Numero Uno, Ruben, who says, no thanks on Matt Chapman. If you take out his great April, he has had a bad offensive season. His offense is overrated. No, I'm right there with you. I know a lot of my Met friends, they've been talking about wanting to get Matt Chapman. You can have him. For the Yankees, I'll pass on Matt Chapman. His defense is top notch. His offense, that's what's suspect right there.
Can we get Gio Urshela back?
Oh, I'm not sure. He had like a hip or something like that. I'm not sure if Gio will even be back next year.
We don't need any more injured guys, right?
Nah, we don't. Shout out my guy Eli BK in the building. Plus, Flo is much needed. Left-handed bat. Absolutely. And that's what's so upsetting. For years, we've been missing left-handed bats in the lineup. Esteban Florio was a top prospect for years.
Right.
You gave every chance in the world to Tyler Wade. You gave every chance in the world to Clint Frazier. You gave every chance in the world to Aaron Hicks. I just want to understand, what was the reason Esteban Florio was never given the opportunity? Is it a character issue? Is it something when it comes to his motivation? Is it an engine? Is it a bat? Like, what is the issue? Because granted, Tyler Wade, very versatile, could play multiple positions. He has speed, another left-handed bat. But you had Tyler Wade, who was an infielder, and you converted him into an outfielder. And you had him playing both the infield and the outfield. When you already had a kid in the minor leagues who's an outfielder.
Yeah.
Who is just as fast as Tyler Wade, if not faster. So I just wanna understand, when when Uncle Tass does the documentary on Esteban Florio's career, I want to know, what was the decision to not give this kid a chance? Like I said, you gave Tyler Wade multiple chances. You gave Clint Frazier multiple chances. IKF, you gave him multiple chances. Aaron Hicks, Joey Gallo. What was the reason? Higashioka. What was the reason Flo didn't get a chance? That's it. If it's a character thing, I think TC, I think me and you could agree. If they come out and say, well, he's not a good locker room guy, he's not a good guy. I think if they came out and told us, we would understand. But we just don't know why. Right. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, it has to be something like that. Off field attitude, character. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people think he has, he did something to, some of the, higher ups in the Yankees organization. He has some, he has some, some photos or videos or something of somebody. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. I can't make any sense of it. The guy's right there, right in front of you, looking for an athletic guy, a kid, and with speed and power, left-handed bat. He's 10 times better than Tyler Wade was. I don't know what they.
I don't know, bro. I don't. And look, like Sean Browning just put in the chat, and Tyro Estrada, he is thriving out there in San Francisco, and not only him, but also Wilmer Flores. You guys remember Wilmer Flores, a top Met prospect? Wilmer Flores is thriving out there. I think Wilmer Flores is hitting 280 or 290, if I'm not mistaken. He is killing it out there in San Francisco. I don't know what they have, what the water is in the Bay Area, but it's something in there. My guy AK-47 said, Hector and TC, why do you think the Yankees organization has had so many injuries this year? And frankly, last year also. What's the source in your opinion? I'll let you go, TC, before I chime in on that one. What's your thoughts on that one?
I mean, that's the mystery that I don't know what to make of it. It's hard to explain. I mean, you could blame the medical staff or the trainers or their off-season workouts, or I mean, there's a lot of factors involved, but I chalk this year up to just dumb luck. It can't happen this way. Like the Judge thing, that was just, him being Judge, going 150%, crashing through a wall. But on top of all the other things, I mean, they have some older guys that just maybe they just don't train well in the off season. They don't get themselves in tip top shape, and that's on the training staff. So I mean, that's all I can chalk it up to. I don't know. A lot of other stuff is just dumb luck and just karma, or I don't know, the universe just not liking the Yankees of late. I don't know.
Same thing. I would say it's the medical staff. It has to be the medical staff. Yes, there's some blame goes towards the players for not, maintaining their body and properly, keeping their body up to date. But it comes down to the medical staff. Like Anthony Rizzo being misdiagnosed for his concussion is like the only reason they found out, or Anthony Rizzo found out, is because David Ross told him to go to his doctor, not any of the Yankees' doctor, and he got diagnosed by a second opinion, right? Aaron Judge, not only was that toe misdiagnosed once, but it was misdiagnosed twice. It wasn't until the third time they realized what was going on in that toe. And I keep bringing up the Domingo Germán situation, right? Yes, Domingo Germán was drunk, right, and wasted, right? Like a college student, just wasted in the clubhouse. Right. There's no excuse for that. But as a medical professional, you can't take that person who's wasted drunk and put him in a sauna for him to sweat it out. You're risking other things that can happen to him. Like this medical staff this year showed that they need to be let go. Like it needs to not only be the coaching staff, but it needs to be the medical staff. It needs to be the training staff. Everyone that's associated with it, clean the slate and start again.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, you can blame the medical staff for the misdiagnosis and the thing they did to her mom, putting him in the sauna. But the fact is that they
hold on, wait 1 second. Jake L said the medical staff. Hold on, Jake L said the medical staff didn't put him in the sauna. I promise you, they said that they did. They said that they did. Brian Holtz reported it that they put him in the sauna to sweat it out. Go ahead, TC. My fault.
Yeah, no, the fact is that they did get hurt. I mean, the Rizzo thing, unfortunate, with Tatis banging him in the, the head neck area. The Judge thing, that was unfortunate. Some of the other issues, like Severino just the other day with the, I don't know what is that, abdominal pain or something. I mean, and then Nestor, arm issues and groin issue at the beginning of the year, and Trevino with his wrist issue, and I mean, I don't know how to explain all the injuries are happening, year in, year out, but they got to put more emphasis into an off-season training routines, eating right, teaching these guys how to keep themselves in shape. I mean, there has to be an overhaul of like maybe health and nutrition guys, or bringing different guys that do different workouts, yoga. I don't know. They have to do different, find different things to do in the off season to prevent all these injuries happening year in, year out. It's unlike any other team. There's no teams that have all these injuries like we do. I mean, we almost have the worst every single season. The last, I don't know, Hector, what do you think? 3-4 years it's been like this?
It's ridiculous. Adam Landsman, Boone was told by Jose Trevino about his wrist in March, and he ignored it. Montas came with him with a shoulder issue and was thrown into the rotation. Herman treatment to detox was wrong. Absolutely. And Jake L said F Frost as well. It's just like, if it happens once, cool. It's a random occurrence. But when it's multiple and it's just piling up on the show, then something's wrong. Then it's an epidemic. Then it's an issue. Then there's a root source to what the issue is. And it's the medical staff, right? My guy Ness in the chat, hold on one second. He says, watch the Ivan Nova interview and Abrino Juego, podcast. All you need to know how the Yankees treat young Latin players. This is what I'll do, Ness. For Thursday's episode, I'll make sure that I'll get that clip and we'll play it on the show and we'll all talk about it and we'll all review it together. All right, Ness? I appreciate you. Thank you for that suggestion.
I got a quick question for you, Hector.
Go ahead, bro.
I know everybody remembered your birthday on the September 8th, right? And you went and you did a tour of Yankee Stadium. Do you have those? I think you were told us you were going to share some pictures of.
I'll bring that up I'll bring that up on Thursday. I'm still working on it right now.
I just want to make sure, because I know I've been wanting to see some of this behind the scenes Yankee Stadium. So
I got you on Thursday. I got you on Thursday. All right. And shout out to my guy L.I. Yankee King, who says, by the way, Montas shoulder started barking in spring of 2022 when he was with the Athletic. No. Yeah. But he's just saying that he went to him. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But let's switch it up momentarily. I'm not sure if Celso's backstage. Go ahead.
Oh, that was our medical. I mean, he had to be cleared for a trade, right? So our medical staff didn't diagnose it, didn't catch it. So that's our bad. That's again another negative against our medical staff.
Yeah, Uncle Tat says, "Good call, TC. Don't let Hector hold this out."
I got you guys.
No, never that. But I want to switch gears up momentarily. Let's switch gears and let's go to our next topic. And we got to talk about the rumors that hit the wire yesterday. Mike Trout, according to Barstool Sports, the Angels are open to trading for Mike Trout if he indicates to ownership that he would want out. Now, when you hear that, it's just two things. One, somebody from the front office leaked that, right? Just so it could get into Mike Trout's ear. Right, they're not going to come up to Mike Trout and say, "Hey, man, we want to trade you," or anything like that. Let the speculations begin. Right, let it fester into Mike Trout's head. And no, I don't think the Yankees, they have enough prospects in order to trade for Mike Trout, because if we're trading for Mike Trout, you're going to have to give up Dominguez, right? That's first and foremost. So you guys wanting to give up Dominguez and Spencer Jones, and Spencer Jones on top of it, right? So before I throw it over to UTC, people in the chat, let me know what your thoughts about this. And Adam Landsman, breaking news: Aaron Rodgers suffered the complete tear of his left Achilles tendon, and he is out for the season. Oh my God! If you're a Jets fan, I feel so bad for you. At least you didn't lose 40-0 like my Giants did. So
That's horrible.
at least you got Zach
horrible.
Wilson. Nah, but that's horrible. That's horrible news, honestly.
I was looking forward. I mean, I'm not a Jets fan, but I was looking forward to seeing him take that Jets team to the postseason.
I was as well. Celso, you backstage, bro? You ready to rock out with us? We're gonna talk about this Mike Trout situation. My guy Fuzzy from YouTube, who says, the Angels fans, how are you feeling about the Mike Trout trade rumors? I'm seeing a bunch of finally we don't deserve him comments, and also a ton of finally he hasn't been worth any of the money. People in the chat, let me know if you're an Angel fan. What's your thoughts? How you feeling? TC, you was just at an Angels game also.
Yeah, I got some free tickets right behind home plate, but Mike Trout wasn't there, unfortunately. But it was a great experience. I mean, that was best seats I've ever had, right behind home, first row. So yeah, I've seen a lot of Trout out here, and they're
hold on,
these
just
fans
one.
love them.
My fault, TC. Just give me one.
Hey, there he is.
I can't even fake happy energy this morning. Okay, but let's talk about the Yankees. Okay.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry,
bro. It's the curse. Look, we're not going to turn this into a Jets show, but it's the curse. Like, as a Jets fan, right? I mean, let's be real. I'm 41 years old, so I saw young guys out there last night that and flipping out and throwing things, and I just sat there in that deadpan silence, like, oh, there it is. All right, there's the usual Jet shit that happens to us every year, Like, it was just brutal. And then every single emotion. I mean, everything about that game was crazy. The comeback but man, losing him for a whole year. Yes, the curse. It's not even the curse of Testaverde, Sean. Listen, I'm going to touch on it tomorrow night on the Jets Evening Brew. I'm taking a deep dive. I'm going to do a Hector. Blood, what up, my guy? I'm going to pull a Hector. I'm going to do a deep dive, TC. Okay, yeah. I already went ahead and I've got all the seasons of Supernatural. I'm going to run through those because I want to find out how the Crossroads deals actually work. So I can literally timestamp when Joe Namath won the Super Bowl, made the deal with the devil, and then calculate when the curse actually will, cancel itself out. So obviously the curse is still there. But Mike Trout, huh? All right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like some people in the chat already says, Mike Trout, Medina says, I would pass on Trout. His injury history speaks for itself. But in Yankee land, they would make that kind of move because it's an injury-prone player. When it comes down to it, listen, we got 50 people in the building. Please smack that like button. If any of you guys have friends that are Angels fans, how are they feeling right now with the rumors of Mike Trout possibly being on the trading block? And these are all rumors. These are all speculations. For me, if Mike Trout gets dealt, he's going to Philly. To me, that's where he's going. The Philadelphia Phillies, they have the pitching prospects to get it done. They've been spending money lately. If they have to include someone like a Kyle Schwarber just to make the move happen, they'll make the move happen. Bryce Harper and Mike Trout, they've been close friends for a while, and to have both of them on the same team would be amazing. And Trout, he's a South Jersey kid, literally right there next to Philly. He grew up a Phillies fan, right? I know a lot of people say he grew up a Yankee fan. He's a Philly sports fan. He's an Eagles fan. He's a Sixers fan, and he grew up a Phillies fan. Point blank, period. So if Trout gets traded, it'll be to Philly. It wouldn't be to anywhere else, in my opinion. What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, I mean, if this was a couple years ago, I'd be all over Trout. I mean, I wished he was a Yankee from the beginning, and but now with going through all these injuries, again, we have a guy. Sorry, Celso, we have a Stanton already. We don't need another guy.
Okay, on our team kick me while I'm down, TC. Kick me while I'm down. It's fine.
Sorry, Go buddy. Ahead. Sorry. Stay down. We don't need these, to bring in another, guy that we're going to give up. I mean, 4 or 5, maybe 6 top prospects for what? 2, maybe 3 years of Mike Trout when we have a Dominguez, we have a Spencer Jones, we have guys that can come up. I mean, again, if this was a couple years ago, I'd love to make this deal, but I don't think he's going to put us over the top for a championship. I'm sorry. I don't think it's too late.
Yeah, I don't see any realm. Listen, like you said, 4 years ago, like my guy Ruben said, unfortunately, Trout being traded is 4 seasons too late. If you're the Angels, you got to do everything you can to save face, because Shohei, he's leaving this offseason, right? You traded a bunch of your prospects at the trade deadline to improve your team, and credit to you, you tried to improve your team. It just didn't work out. Now you got to recoup that farm system. You should have traded Shohei Ohtani at the trade deadline. If you would have traded Ohtani at the trade deadline and then Mike Trout this offseason, you're talking about potentially a 12-player return when it comes to 12 top prospects, MLB-ready players. You could have saved your franchise right then and there, but you didn't. You tried to force something, and you didn't make it, and it didn't work out. It's like the movie Mean Girls, right? You ever seen the movie Mean Girls? When they say you try to make fetch happen. That's what they try to do. They try to make fetch happen with the Angels, and it just didn't work out. So what's your thoughts?
Well, so I took a little dive last night when you told me we were going to talk about Trout, and I read the article on CBS Sports by RJ Anderson, right? And then I looked at all the comments and other analysts that were commenting on it. Here's what they have as the top 7 options, like the ones that are realistic people in the conversation. At number 7 is the Yankees. Okay, for me. Yes, it's the name. It's Trout. But now what are we doing? Just bringing another big bat and hoping the long ball carries us through? It doesn't solve the problems we're constantly complaining about, right? And again, we go after guys that have injury problems with a medical staff that then causes more injuries to secondary problems.
Facts.
Literally, it's us signing a contract to say, hey, let's go injure another guy that likes to get injured. Nothing against Mike Trout. Anybody that throws shade at Mike Trout, you're an idiot, right? The guy's phenomenal. We know that.
Hall of Famer.
From the injury. Exactly. But does it make sense for us? To me, it doesn't. It doesn't at all, right? I get, the TC shade with it. Well, the swap with Stanton. I mean, you're literally taking one to fill it in with the other with the same concerns, right? So number 7 was that. 6, they had the Padres. 5, they had the Mets. And of course, the biggest talk on the Mets side was they've got money and they'll spend it. That was the biggest caveat when they said Mets. Not that it was a perfect piece for them or he makes them better. It was they've got money. Phillies came in at number 4, bro. Dodgers at number 3, the Giants at number 2, and they said at the end of the day, number 1, the man ends up staying with the Angels.
Yeah.
They said they're going to find partners that Trout's not going to be happy for because, like you say, he doesn't really have a trade clause, but he has that time, serve time, right? So what up, Roz in the chat?
What it do, fam?
What up, Ra?
So, bro, after reading a lot of the stuff, I kept looking around. Most analysts are all saying it's going to be an off-season speculation. It's going to be Trout, but no one will be surprised that he just stays with the Angels and that's where he goes.
Right.
It's hard to argue that, right? It really does, because all the other teams that would really want a Trout or need a Trout, 1, don't have the money. 2, don't have the front office to really pull the trigger. Or 3, they don't have the pieces to make it happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a high asking price.
Right. So at the end of the day, I'm on that side of I wouldn't be surprised if Trout just stays where he's at. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Angels sweeten the pot a little bit more for him as well. And we're like, wait, what? Even more money? Right. But I think he stays where he's at, man. No question.
I see it. I see what you're saying. Right. But Artie Moreno, he wants to sell that team. He desperately wants to sell that team. If you're an owner, right? If you're someone that's potentially looking to being an owner, an MLB, you don't want to buy a team and then have to worry about, do you trade Mike Trout or do you re-sign Shohei Ohtani? You want to come into owning that team with a fresh slate. If Ohtani's already signed, if Trout's already there, cool, copy, you take that. You don't want to have to be that owner that has to make that decision on losing Ohtani and trading Mike Trout, right? If you want to try to make the item more appealing to a new owner that's coming in to buy it, you're going to want to trade and have young prospects that are on the rise that you can showcase and tell someone, listen, Celso, you could buy this franchise and you have 3 top 100 prospects that could be your franchise players for the next 10 years. You'll be more enticed to that than, hey, we got this guy who's 32, 33 years old who has an injury history and you still owe him $250 million and you're stuck until he's 40-something years old.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with you 100%, right? From a smart business side. But then let's look at the other end of it, right? Aren't there more owners out there that are going to want to buy a team that says, yo, I've got Shohei, I've got Mike Trout, right?
Yeah.
And also they're also going to look at, hey, how about the dead money? Like, you got to figure with some of these guys, there's going to be dead money on the books if they make that trade. So that new owner's coming in saying, do I take the dead money and then I've got some pieces? Or do I take the team that does have a Trout and an Ohtani and make the money that the ticket sales alone bring in from these guys, right? So there's both sides to it, you know? But I think if the main focus is to sell the team, he's going to have to look at which owner is going to be the happiest, keeping them or getting rid of them.
Yeah.
And again, I think someone probably comes in bigger with the, hey, I own a team that has Shohei and I got Mike Trout, right? Smart baseball owner. So if Hector was buying the team, Hector's saying, give me the prospects, give me the young thing, let me build it, let me do it right, and then I'll find the man I want, right? They what hoping to sell a team.
What I was saying is that if, say, like, for instance, this happens this offseason, Shohei Ohtani signs a massive extension to stay with the Angels. Now you can sell that team next year with Ohtani for 10 years and Mike Trout for the rest of his contract. What I'm saying is, you don't want to have to be an owner that's coming in and you just lost Shohei, and now you have to worry about, should I trade Mike Trout in order to try to revamp my franchise? That's the only thing I'm saying. TC, what's your thoughts on that? Also, we got 56 people in the building. If you guys can't, please smack that like button. We'll bring up all the chats momentarily. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I mean, if they get rid of both Trout and Ohtani, that's going to be a hard sell to have an owner come in and want to take over that team. I mean, there's no draw. You know, you got to have something. There's got to be some sort of enticement or like excitement for an owner to come in. And he don't want a whole team of prospects and some guys that are just. I mean, Angels. I mean, you think we were bad? The Angels. I went to the game. I don't see any. I mean, there may be one guy that might get a draw. I mean, I don't know anybody on that team that's gonna sustain any sort of attendance at all. There's in anywhere pitching, hitting, and I don't see it. So if you get rid of both of those guys, I'm not coming in and buying this team. I'm like, heck no, there's no way. It's a huge discount maybe, but yeah, I don't know. It's just double-edged sword, I guess. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know. Maybe he's not going to sell the team. If he wants to get rid of everybody, I don't know. Maybe it's just all a mirage.
Uncle Grandpa Tat says, first off, hugs again for Jigga and the Yankees for going for Trout. Would be more of a financial disaster than Stanton. It definitely would be. That's a lot of money that's left. That's a lot, and especially when you have Stanton already locked in. There's no way that the Angels are going to want to bring back Stanton in his contract, and two, Stanton will want to waive his no trade in order to go to LA. That's blowing things up. That's not going to happen. If this was MLB The Show, you can make that move in MLB The Show, but you can't make that happen in real life. But I want to switch gears momentarily because we have one more topic to talk about, and it's Luis Severino, who may have pitched his last game as a New York Yankee this past Friday. Luis Severino exited the game with what is being reported as a high oblique strain, possibly a cracked rib or whatever. But Luis Severino, he felt like he was shot in the stomach. Look at that face. Look at the grimacing on his face.
Yeah, that's not.
It's sad, man. Nah, definitely not. It looks like you gotta go make a boo-boo. But TC, what's your thoughts about Sevy possibly pitching his last game with the Yankees, bro?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that his Yankee career is going to come down to this, and this is what we're going to remember him as: the last couple of years not being available to be on the field. So many injuries, so many disappointing outcomes. I mean, the last couple of years, he just hasn't put it together, and especially this year, the ERA was like over 8 for a good month. Just a terrible end to what looked like a very promising pitcher. I mean, this kid, 2016, 17, 18. I mean, he was lights out. He was the next Pedro, and all this hype on him, and he just couldn't get it together. Couldn't be on the field. It's just too bad. It's too bad because I really enjoyed watching him pitch, especially when he, against Houston and some of the big games he pitched, and he just looked terrific. But we're going to remember him this way as a guy who just got hurt too many times and had awful performances. It's just I feel bad for him, man. It sucks.
Yeah. Someone on Twitter, and I'll throw it over to Celso. I want to get his thoughts on it. Said, I've had some harsh words about Luis Severino this season, but last night in his post-game speech, I got a little bit emotional. I'm not going to lie to you. It hits you different when the emotions come out. I feel so bad for him because I know how respected he is in that clubhouse. And that's a big point right there. Go ahead, Celso.
I mean, when you look at the emotional side and it being because of injury, but I'm going to take a step back here, Heck, and my answer is the same it was before this recent injury, the same answer I had 3 months ago. Bye-bye. And I say because we still think of early Severino, right? We think of that time, right? But why do we look past 2020 Tommy John? Why do we look past 2021 groin? And let's look at it for what it is, a 6.65 ERA. So if the injury wasn't even happening right now and we were just talking Severino and what we're getting from Severino, I'm still on the train of bye.
Right.
Sorry, not coming back. Let him go. We all live in that, like true Yankees fans, we live in those moments of, we live in the moment of, when he's yelling on the mound and he has a great showing. We haven't seen that in years. And we get excited when we get 1 or 2 games, maybe a season like we did this year. We're like, there's Severino. But what do you always say after that, Hector? There's the Severino we know. And it's the Severino we knew. We haven't seen that Severino in forever. So, yes, it's unfortunate. The injury, it sucks. Seeing him in pain. You never want that for any player, whether you hate him or not, right? I mean, Hector, you yourself sat here and be like, man, I wish he'd stub his toe when it came to Josh Donaldson. But then at the end of the day, you'd be like, all right, but if he's playing, let's go, right? I'm sorry. Severino, bye. I'm still looking at the 6.65 ERA and the waste that it was.
I just want to say one thing.
I chose the wrong name. I chose the wrong name.
No. Josh Donaldson, whatever. But I would hate to be one of your children and my dog dies because the way that you just, you just rained on the parade when it comes to Luis Severino, bro.
But listen, my kids all believe till this day, every dog, every animal, there's this farm, bro. It's packed with their animals. All right?
You're just a meanie. You're just a meanie. That's what it is. You're just mean.
I'm not a meanie. Okay? I'm just saying it for what it is. I'm tired of feeling bad for people because of their injury. Okay. The point is, you didn't do shit that we needed you to do. All right. And I'm tired of thinking of we're gonna see the old Severino one day. It's not happening. No one's getting that again.
Well, they always say, right, and this is something that's being beaten to like a dead horse, right? This phrase, but the best ability is availability, right? And Luis Severino, unfortunately, he hasn't been available, right? So his best ability, it hasn't been availability, right? But like TC said, you remember 2017, you remember the first half of 2018. And the possibilities of what could have been when it comes to Luis Severino. But I think ultimately he will be let go by the Yankees. He won't be coming back next year. Wherever he finds himself pitching, I'll root for him just for him, just so he can have a second chance at a baseball life and at a baseball career. Hopefully he gets to he is signed this offseason. It will be a very Mets thing to do for the New York Mets to sign him, just like the Mets signed Dylan Betances a few years back, a former Yankee. But hopefully he's able to find himself next year, wherever that is, whether that is in the NL, whether that is in the AL. But I agree with you, Celso. He didn't show up for us. Not this year, not last year, not the years prior. Point blank, period. I remember all the Yankee fans that was saying that, there's no reason the Yankees should go out there and sign Garrett Cole. We already have Luis Severino. Look how that worked out.
Clown takes. But again, man, like I said, Heck, I mean, it's still, it is sad, right? And not just this injury, just sad of what we've had to watch with Severino. Because, again, it's one of those players that had all the pieces, had the talent, had such a promising career, and then once that injury bug happens the way it does, especially if you're on the Yankees, an injury happens, it's injuries that you never expect or they get worse every time. Dude just couldn't find it again, man. And I think it was Grandpa Uncle Tats or somebody in the chat. I lost it because they're blowing it up in there. But someone said, hold on. I saw it. The numbers don't lie. Right? That's what someone had said in there. You know, injuries aside, the numbers don't lie. When he was healthy, he still wasn't performing, man. And it sucks.
Yeah.
The question is, like, for real,
outweighed the good.
Right. And you make the joke about the Mets also on a serious side, too, because you do have that belief it's possible. Is there another team that you really see being able to take on Sevy, turn him around, and want to work with him where you think he would be an asset? Obviously not here with the Yankees. Like that, they just have to let that go. But if it was you, Heck, what team is that going to be?
St. Louis. St. Louis.
That's not bad.
St. Louis, San Francisco. Just because those are ballparks that are more conducive to pitchers and being more pitcher friendly. But I can see him going to St. Louis. I can see him going to San Francisco and finding himself in San Francisco. I can see him going to San Diego and finding himself in San Diego with the Padres, just because that's a big ballpark also. Who else? If I had to choose anyone in the American League,
Miami,
it would be Cleveland, maybe. It would be the White Sox, maybe. But they have issues. Maybe Toronto. Don't be surprised if Toronto don't go after Luis Severino trying to get a former Yankee. You guys saw Alek Manoah. They sent him to go back and he didn't show up. He's been MIA. He hasn't pitched ever since they got rid of him and told him to go back to development or wherever they told him to go. But yeah, those are the teams. What about you,
Aaron
TC?
Hicks might call Severino and tell him, "Hey, Baltimore's a nice little landing spot."
Think it's talking about Baltimore, right? And this is something that I was thinking. I know we're talking about Luis Severino. I forgot to bring this up when we was talking about Mike Trout. I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore made a run after Mike Trout. They have the prospects.
Yeah.
In the 90s, when the Yankees dynasty team was doing their thing, Baltimore was second behind the New York Yankees when it came to payroll. So Baltimore, when they had to spend money, they spend some money.
They had good teams,
right? They got the prospects in order to trade for Mike Trout. Now, is it a hypothetical? It definitely is a hypothetical. Would I love to see Mike Trout with the Baltimore Orioles? I would love to see him. But Yankee Frankie with the $5 super chat, all the pitchers the Yankees had that had won 19 games, never been the same again. Ching-Ming Wong, Ivan Nova, Phil Hughes, and now Luis Severino. Frankie, that's a top take right there. Probably best take of the morning.
Good take right there, yeah.
Bye, Sevy.
I think it depends on what happens this year. I think if they win the World Series, I don't know if they do any moves like that. But if they're just short, if they come up a couple games short of the World Series, maybe lose out in the ALCS or something like that, it's possible that getting Trout would be a good piece, like to put him over the top.
Ruben says for Sevy, the Raves and the Braves, they make sense. Those are two games. Two teams also. Yeah, don't forget the Raves or the Braves. Two teams also. So I know you got to get out of here because I know you got a meeting that you got to get to. But bro, any last thoughts before we got to get out of here? And also let them know what time the show is later on today so they can tune in over there on Jerry's channel.
Oh yeah, so 3:00 over at the Jerry Ferrara podcast. Go subscribe, check it out. I'll be on there as well. Jerry wants to make sure he gets me on camera to cry about the Jets. So we got a lot going on over there, a lot of sports intervention going on. We've got Jay Feely tonight at 6:00. I'm looking forward to that interview. It's going to be so much fun. Then we got the Knicks Nightcap. We got all kinds of stuff. Hector, TC, do me a favor. Keep doing like wellness checks on me throughout the day. I just need some support. Okay. I can't be in my head too long by myself today. Okay. Chat. I love you guys. I love you guys. Doses.
I'm gonna send you some flowers.
Oh, that'd be
later,
nice.
bro.
I haven't gotten flowers in a long time.
Maybe a fruit basket.
The thing is, I didn't know I was supposed to press buttons. Hold on. So there you go. I'm pressing buttons.
You're the producer.
But we back. But you know, what's your thoughts? You like the new setup? You like the new inserts? You like the new layouts and stuff?
I do. You guys are working hard behind the scenes and always trying to come up with the new and the latest. I like it. It's very snazzy. It's gives an edge. We have the brew has a little edge over here.
Definitely does. We are sitting at 1,432 subscribers. Again, if you're watching this for the first time, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are 68 subscribers away from 1,500.
Always showing up. This chat is phenomenal. I love all these guys. The same guys. We see some new guys. We love to, welcome them in. But I see our same guys. We love all you guys. Medina, Sean, Big Time Jerry, Jonathan, Allen. You got Ruben, you got Eli, you got the Uncle Grandpa Tats, Sunil. I mean, it just goes on and on. You guys, we thank you so much. This channel isn't this way without you guys. So we salute, hats off to you guys.
No, you definitely hit it on the head, TC. With Luis Severino going down, who do you want to take his spot in the rotation? People in the chat, let us know as well. With Luis Severino down, who do you want to take his spot in the rotation? Do you want a Randy Vasquez? Do you want a Johnny Brito? Do you want to see Clayton Beater up here at the major league level? Do you want to see Will Warren? Who do you want to see, TC? Let me know, and people in the chat, let us know as well.
Yeah, I mean, we already have Brito and Vasquez on the roster, and I think that these guys are kind of our long guys out of the bullpen. I know we've inserted Michael King, and he's been a pleasant surprise as a starter. But I think at this point, season is lost. I want to see both Will Warren and Clayton Beater. I'd like to see them each get a chance to start, just to get their feet wet and see what we have for next season. I mean, we got to know what we have if they're major league ready, because we've already seen Brito, we've seen Vasquez, we've seen some of these guys. I'm done with the Nick Vasquez or Nick Ramirez and and Greg Weiserts and enough of that. We got to bring in some more starters to see what we have here, because there's no purpose of bringing those guys back up. I don't see it, but I'd love to see or even what's his name, Yoenis Garcia Gomez, or what's maybe even him.
Yoenis Gomez,
Yoenis Gomez, another. I mean, there's three guys right there that we could take a look at. Just give them all a shot. We got 19 games left. Give them all a shot. Rotate it.
I want to see Michael King the rest of the way to see how he does. Clayton Beater, I want to see him get a chance. Will Warren, I want to see get a chance as well. Randy Vasquez as well. I think he has really good stuff. But I get annoyed by Greg Weissert, right? And it's not because it's not anything about him personally, right? He reminds me of this coworker that I had that I hated. Like, he literally looks like this man that I couldn't stand, right? And this is the reason, right? And this is when I worked for ADT, right? And this is the reason why I get so annoyed every time I see Greg Weissert, because he reminds me of this annoying coworker that I had when I worked for ADT. But I agree with you. When it comes to Weissert, when it comes to Nick Ramirez, I don't want to see them going. I don't want to see them anymore. Right? Ramirez looks like he just gives up runs automatically. Awful. Greg Weissert against I think it was against Detroit, was the bases loaded. He got that strikeout. Cool, awesome. Ever since then, he's just been washed. It's sad because he has great numbers in the minors. It just doesn't translate to the major leagues. It just doesn't make it up here. You could get away with it at AAA, but you can't get away with it at the major league level. Major league hitters, they recognizing what Greg Weissert does. Nick Ramirez, if you want to keep him as just a situational lefty to get one out to end the inning, cool, copy. We can do that. But to have him out there trying to pitch multiple innings, that's not going to work when it comes to Nick Ramirez. He just doesn't have the stuff for that. Let me bring up a few chats before I go over the lineup, because there's a doubleheader today. So we're going to go over the lineup. I just want to bring up my guy Ness, who says, again, with the injuries, Yankees training room put together and all starts. That's hilarious.
Someone just
Anna
put
Marie
in the
says,
chat that Drew Thorpe went on the IL.
No way. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was a while ago. I whoever that was in the chat.
Hold on, let me look.
I think it was a 7-day IL. So I hope that's.
So
not
we
true,
won't see him.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think just said yeah.
Drew Thorpe. Yep. Drew Thorpe was placed on a 7-day IL, and Danny Watson was placed on it as well. The Yankees have placed their number 2 pitching prospect, Drew Thorpe, on the 7-day IL.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours, right?
Now, this is someone, my guy Tom Kaczynski on Twitter, who says, I wouldn't worry much about Drew Thorpe for now. It is possible they are simply or just shutting him down for the remainder of the season because he reached his innings limit. Okay. So that that's a good way to look at it. They just put him on the IL because they are in the postseason right now. So when they put him on the IL because he's at his inning limit, it allows them to bring up add another player to that postseason roster. So that may be the reason. Hopefully, knock on wood. But let's look at these lineups.
Alan was the one that put it in the chat.
Yeah, appreciate you, Alan. So the Yankees are sending out Randy Vasquez. Nick Pivetta is pitching for the Red Sox. You got DJ LeMahieu leading it off. Aaron Judge is in right field. Gleyber Torres is your second baseman. Giancarlo Stanton is the DH. And Anthony Volpe is the shortstop. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is at third base. Esteban Florial is in center. Everson Pereira is in left. And the catcher is Kyle Higashioka. Where's Austin Wells? Probably going to be in the
second game. I'm assuming the second game. He can't catch a doubleheader. So we'll give Higgy a little.
I just get so frustrated. When I see certain, Peraza is dealing with a little knee situation as well. A knee contusion.
What else is new, right? What else is new?
After performing well and after hitting well for a week.
I don't know.
I just want to point something out, and we could end it after this. I've never seen someone hate their personal catcher the way that Garrett Cole hates Ben Roybeck. I've never seen someone despise their own personal catcher the way that Garrett Cole does to Ben Roybeck. He just looks
Is it
annoying.
Roybeck or is it Higgy? I thought he hated Higgy.
Well, no, what I'm saying is that when you see him interacting with Ben Roybeck, he's always screaming at him. He always has an attitude towards him. It's like whenever Ben Roybeck does something, you see Garrett Cole's face like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? There was a couple of times that it was like swing and misses on a strike, and Ben Roybeck wasn't able to like secure the pitch, and you just see Garrett Cole like, you better fucking throw that person out at first. Like,
I think that's the Cole's been that way to every Yankee this year. When it's a hit out to the outfield and he's like watching IKF, you better catch that ball. Oh my, it's like it's just been that way. Cole is pitching phenomenal, and everyone's letting him down, and it's frustrating. I mean, I've been out there, pitching, little league, high school, but not at professional level. But when your teammates let you down and you're pitching a great game or something, it's very frustrating. And you got to try to not show emotion. And Cole, sometimes Cole just lets it all out there. And I know the teammates don't want to see that, but it's hard not to let that out and just. He lets it. He has emotions on his sleeve, right? And he wants to win. He's a winner, and that's what I like about him. So, hey, he doesn't like poor performance. Everybody's got to come to play 100%. Give it all your effort.
I think it's fair to say, unless Garrett Cole goes out over his next few starts and gives up 20 runs over his next couple of starts, I think it's fair to say that he's a Cy Young winner for this season. He loads his ERA down to 2.80.
Yeah,
him and Sonny Gray are
got some hits that last game. He pitched a great game.
Yeah,
Burns ends up throwing the no hitter combined, or what they go 10, 11 innings no hit. I mean,
it was 10 innings if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 10 innings or 11 innings.
Come on, guys.
That's what happens when no Martian is in the lineup. There's no Dominguez, and you could tell that the Dominguez injury it affected them because that team didn't have the same energy in the dugout, right? Yeah, he was scratched from the lineup, and I think the players knew that it was something wrong in his elbow, and as soon as the news came out in the middle of the game, so you knew that you know that the players knew before any of us knew, and you could just tell their energy just wasn't the same in that dugout. But guys, we're gonna cut it short right here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to my guys in the chat. Shout out to Uncle Tats, my guy NYY News numero uno, my guys Acevedo, Anna Marie, we appreciate you. My guy Ness, we appreciate you. Alan Landsman, Steve Schumann, big time Jerry Cadill, Jonathan, my guy Jonathan, who was in the building. We appreciate all of you guys that's in the chat. Like always, if you guys can, please smack that like button, hit the subscribe button. And if this is your first time watching the Yankees Morning Brew, welcome to the familiar. TC, any last words before we get out of here?
Got a couple games today. Let's see what happens. Pulling for Florial. I hope he, plays out and shows us something today. Other than that, I don't know what else to look forward to. We got, all our guys are hurt, but hey, we got big lineup today on the Morning Brew Sports. So
yes,
stick with us, and you might see some surprises and some new snazzy, little graphics and stuff. Hector, goes around behind the scenes. Doesn't tell me, he just springs it on me. So you'll be surprised as much as I am.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Always be surprised.
Look forward to that.
Always be on the lookout. Later on, 6 p.m., we will be interviewing Jay Feely. Make sure you guys tune in. But like always, peace out.